So I'm here with Nicole Langley, who's the president of the Earth Nest Institute. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm director of Earth Nest Institute.
And you guys are down in Crestone?
Yes, it's a small nonprofit in, no, not Crestone. See, the thing is that you guys think of Crestone when you think of folks like us. But sometimes out in the middle of nowhere, there's a Crestonian in disguise. I am the nonprofit which is behind this Meditate 08 organization. Everybody has collaborated. We have had marvelous collaboration with this. My role was a quiet background role, which was someone has to be the corporate entity. Someone has to manage, the fiscal aspects and all of that stuff. And that was my role. And since I was so far away, I wasn't that involved in organizing this. But Don was. Don Moriali, he's just awesome, the way he put this together. And his whole crew.
What was the lessons that you learned personally?
You mean the spiritual lessons?
Yes.
I'll give it to you from the Zen point of view, You just get in there, both feet, and pretty soon there's no resistance to anything. You just keep working, that's it. You have to put your head down and work. And there's no resistance after a while. And so I kind of liked that. To me, putting the thing together was kind of like going on a long retreat, It drives you up against the wall. You're up until midnight. You say, fine, I have one more thing I can possibly do. And I know it's a little driven, just to surrender completely to the task at hand, I think was the big lesson for me.
We're here with Giancarlo Esposito right after the Meditate 08 opening ceremony here at the Democratic National Convention. How did you end up being here for this? Because you're going to be here for the convention anyway?
I was coming for the convention and to premiere my film at the DNC. My film is called Gospel Hill, which will have 2 showings tomorrow evening, August 24th at Neighborhood Flicks. And I'm a member of the Creative Coalition delegation and on the board. And they're the folks that everyone calls when they want to try to find some celebrities to come to their event. So it was very auspicious that my wife, Joy McManigal, who is working with the Creative Coalition, and we're now friends and partners. We've been husband and wife, and we have 4 children together, but now we have a different incarnation, fielded Don's Morial's letter and cry for celebrities. I guess what Don didn't know, that there's some celebrities out there, maybe many of us, who are also practicing yogis. And so when I saw this letter, I thought I have to get here and support this peaceful creation of space surrounding this very chaotic world, and also at a very chaotic time.
So we're dealing at a convention where there's going to be some protests, maybe some violence, probably some anger. What lessons would you give for those people that are coming at this from a point of view of, we want to protest, we want to tell everybody what's wrong? Perhaps there's some lessons that you could offer?
Well, very simple one. My mother said, you always get more with sugar than you do with salt. And I know for me as a young man, I was angry coming to this country, being half black, half Italian, and coming here, and in Europe, people treated me as a human being somewhat, and coming here and realizing the first thing they looked at was the color of my skin, so anger pulsed through me. But there's nothing to be gained by that, and it gets dissipated by love. Only lightness can dispel darkness, and it's the same thing with anger. Love takes it right out in a heartbeat. I woke up this morning, I missed my first flight, and I was laid in bed, and I usually wake up when I run, and then I go do a 2-hour Ashtanga practice, and I sit and meditate. Well, this morning, my assistant, who happened to come over last night, said, I'm not going to go to sleep. And I had 2 hours to sleep, and I woke up this morning, and it was light out, and I realized I had missed my flight. Car pickup was 5 a.m. We're human, and we forget. And I screamed, "Dad!" I was still in bed. What a way to wake up. And then I started laughing because, we learn things. We're conditioned. And sometimes we have to let go of that conditioning. And I went on my little tirade, and I realized, that cost me 15 minutes. I could have been out of here already. So it's an amazing thing that happens when we're able to really look at ourselves in a different way. And not to say that we can't get angry, that we don't have anger in different things, but when we can switch it and understand and laugh at ourselves, then we're closer to the original human beings and the original selves that God intended us to be.
You can walk in this door when you're thinking, why can't I come on and lift your voice and let the Spirit fly? There's something in life, I know you can't figure out where to go.
So I'm here with Roshi, take two, Roshi, Dana and Henry, who is, you're the head of the Denver Zen Center?
I'm the spiritual director of the...
And we've just finished the Meditate 08 opening ceremony. What's your feelings about what just happened and how this fits into what's going on here at the Democratic Convention?
I thought it was a very lovely opening with an intention of letting the spiritual teachers and some of the leaders in the community try to inform the convention with a spiritual perspective, trying to bring a spiritual perspective to the very heart of political, social, economic, environmental issues, which are what is of enormous concern at a time like this. And I think the spiritual community has something true and deep and profound to offer these deep concerns for the well-being of our country and the world. So I think it was a wonderful thing to do.
And what do you hope is going to be the outcome? You're sitting here in the middle of what's going to be a very topsy-turvy convention. Even though it's scripted, there's some good chances there's going to be some things out on the street that may not be scripted. What's your sense of what you're going to accomplish in terms of benefiting the whole process?
No attachment to outcome.
Okay.
We set the intention, and then what happens, who knows? Who knows?
Do you have a vision of what you'd like to see happen?
It's a little pebble thrown into the big, big pond. We set some things in motion. People might just fall by and experience meditation, experience a little bit of peace in this wonderful setting, and maybe that'll have an effect on their lives.
So as twilight begins to slide over the city of Denver, we're here with people dancing at the closing ceremony for Meditate 08, which they hope will be a locus of peace here in the middle of a chaotic Democratic National Convention. For KGNU, this is Judah Freed.